Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thanks to the entire panel. I appreciate the comments about NASA's planetary science programs and your thoughts on the ASTEROIDS Act. I want to also thank Representative Posey for the partnership on the ASTEROIDS Act. And I guess I want to ask about two things, one, value, and second, principle. Those were the two things that got me interested in the ASTEROIDS Act. So I guess my first question to the panel is, what is there in an asteroid that would be worth the effort and expense of going to go get it?
You guys.
Well, so a variety of answers to that question. Some are purely scientific because we want to know how planets form, and asteroids are the building blocks of planets. We know from telescopic surveys and missions that have gone on that there's a variety of kinds of objects out there, rocky, metallic, et cetera. So there are pure exploration goals associated with that. And then there's a whole side of this business that cares about resources and the kinds of resources that future human explorers and settlers will need to live off the land, if you will. And asteroids are a potentially fruitful supply of those resources. Many people talk about metals and many asteroids based on the meteorites in our collection, which are from asteroids, have precious metals on them. But to me, I think maybe the most precious resource is probably water, H2O, because we need the water to live, of course, the O to breathe. The H can be an important part of rocket fuel. And so perhaps in the near term, and of course we're talking decades still for all this to happen, but perhaps the water inventory and water extraction efforts will be the most compelling.
Thanks.
I'd like to add to that. I clearly agree. In fact, there's a lot of interest in humans to Mars. Humans to Mars is a very expensive proposition, by the estimates that have been made. And I think that the only way that we're going to expand beyond low Earth orbit in any kind of significant way, human activity, is to find a way of living off the line, find a way of reducing the amount of material we have to haul up the gravity well of the Earth at great expense. And asteroid resources, particularly the water, I think offers that possibility. But just saying it doesn't make it so, and there's a lot of homework that we need to do in order to determine whether that offers a cost-effective way of buying down the costs of expanding human exploration, enabling our going to Mars.
Thank you. The other thing I wanted to ask about, my background was working in economic development, and I worked with businesses professionally, and there was two things that drove my interest in this. One, we just talked about, the potential value of doing it, and the second is the sense that for businesses to make an investment, there needs to be some sense of certainty. My observation is what business wants from government more than anything else is an environment of trust and predictability. So I'd like to get some sense from you of is there value in setting some rules of the road as private enterprise contemplates pursuing any of these valuable aspects of visiting mines or mining asteroids for this purpose, and I guess relatedly, if a company fails in that endeavor, is there any risk to government or impact to NASA? Is there any downside?
I would say that having that legal certainty that when you go out there and acquire material at an asteroid, you're a private company, that you own it is very important. And at some point, that framework needs to be created to give private corporations that certainty, so that if they make that investment and actually go out and do it and bring stuff back, somebody doesn't say thank you and take it away from them. So that's important. In terms of risk to NASA, I guess I don't see that.
Okay. Thank you.